Get ready for the shortest vloggy segment of your life. I'm exaggerating, it's not that short when you think about it, but it's pretty darn short. Roll the clips.
Just smashes the butter, it doesn't smear the butter. So I still have chunks of butter in this dough.
We're trying to find our panel and it's like a maze. We found it. We found it.
Have a lot of money, we were military. So we went to Joann Fabrics and we picked out blue satin and we made a dress together. And that's all I wanted for Christmas. So my blue Anne dress, I mean everything was Anne of Green Gables at that age, and my mom enjoyed it as well. She loved, you know, living vicariously through me.
And so I have things like that in the story that I think make her very relatable. We can see who she was then. We could see that happening today. She was just, I could talk about her all day. She is incredible.
That's a firehouse, and they're like backing in. What? They made it in? Like what? That's really zoomed on in your face. There we go.
No, see, the thing is that look is, I have gas. That is exactly what that was. And I'm gonna brag, actually. So this picture is actually taken by my daughter, Athena, and when she was like 16. And so this picture has now been in like the New York Times and the Guardian and all these other sorts of places. And when it was time for the college applications, I said to her, "Put that you've been published in these newspapers." And she's like, "But that's cheating." I'm like, "Oh, it's college applications." Yes. Do you not understand how these things work?
To read it about supervillains, right? I wanted to write about two supervillains, or two pre-med students who discovered the key to superpowers or near-death experiences. And they set out to manufacture their own superpowers by controlling their own deaths and resurrections. That story became vicious. And when I was writing it, I never planned for anyone to read it, but because that book then became the start of my career again, became the change in my career. From vicious on, and I'm 15 books in now, the question I asked myself when I wrote anything was, what do I want to read?
Yeah.
So I'm only ever writing first for a version of myself. We live with our stories a lot longer than readers do. We have to love them exponentially more. I mean, not to say that you guys don't, but like we have to live with it, and on the idea that nobody else will ever see it possibly, or that nobody else will ever enjoy it.
Hey, Mags.
So, A Map of Days is book 4 in the ongoing saga of The Peculiar Children, and it's going to be the first in a new trilogy that pretty much just follows the same narrative as the first 3. So the first 3 were set largely in Europe and the UK, and they were older, and it's the 19th century, and it's the early 20th century, and there's a lot of black and white photography, and it's Jacob, the boy from Florida, the ordinary kid from Florida, cast into extraordinary circumstances.
Let's have Danielle Clayton. If you have both, let's stay in one.
Hey guys, it's Hannah, and today I am doing my Texas Book Festival wrap-up because I attempted to vlog it, and that didn't happen at all. So, we're doing a sit-down chit-chat about it. I am so sorry there wasn't a video last week. School is killing me, evident by the tea I'm drinking, because this tea is I am feeling sick and I need tea kind of tea. So cheers. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping I don't forget anything. I don't think I will. Let's just jump in. Yeah, That sounds good. On the first day, Saturday, we got up there around 11, I believe, because there was a cooking demo on a book called Pie Squared, Irresistibly Easy Sweet and Savory Slab Pies by Kathy Barrow. You probably don't know, but I love pies, and I'm pretty good at making pies if I do say so myself. So when I discovered there was a pie book and a pie chef coming, I wanted to see it. And so we watched her demo. She is hilarious and fantastic, and I love her. And I don't know if you can tell, but I've already tabbed a couple of different savory pies and a couple of different sweet pies that I want to try soon. But basically, she's taking the perfection of getting straight lines and beautiful designs out of making pie. And you literally make your dough, you put it in a pan, you put in your filling, you put it in the oven, you eat it. Makes it easy. Loved it, loved the demo, got the book signed. Let's show that to Hannah. Oh, that came off. I am just very excited to use some of the recipes. After that, there is a coffee shop. It is our like go-to sit down and rest for a bit place. Every year we've done the book festival so far. But so we sat there for a little bit because we had a bit of a gap in between the next event we wanted to go to. Plus I had some school to do, so every gap available I would pull out my little laptop and I'd type away at accounting homework because I had a test on Monday, which I actually got a 98 on, so like that's pretty good. It was just very stressful trying to prepare for it. And the 98 came with bonus points that I got from dressing up for Halloween. So I didn't technically get a 98 on my own, but it still says a 98 in the grade book, so that's all that matters. All that matters. But the next event we went to was for Herrera Lewis and another woman who I can't remember, but here is the book she was promoting. It's Marilla of Avonlea, I believe, or Marilla of Green Gables. And that's the main reason we were going, but we saw this book by association, and when I was first looking at the authors who were going to be there, this book caught my eye. It is about a woman who during World War II coaches the football team in Brownwood, Texas, because all of the men are gone. And it is not a fiction. Well, okay, so this is a fiction depiction of it, but it is based off of a true story. And hearing her talk about it, basically a lot of the records got lost or destroyed somehow, so we don't have as much information as she wanted for doing a non-fiction, but she really wanted to tell this woman's story, so she switched it and is telling it in a fiction. So this is a work of fiction, but it is based off as much as she could a true story, which I think is fantastic. So we heard them speak, we got her book, we got it signed to Hannah. My thing's still in there, I didn't even realize that. Ta-da! And it was beautiful, and I got to talk to her when I got the book signed because I mentioned that I noticed it on the thing and I wanted to read it, and she was like, well, what drew you to it? And I was like, well, listen, just when you throw a woman into a situation where a woman's typically not supposed to thrive and she does, I am here for it. So I'm super excited about this book. Plus it's set in Texas. It's set in Brownwood, Texas. The 4-H camp is in Brownwood, Texas, so I know a little bit about Brownwood, Texas. I've been there. I've gotten lost there a couple of times. I'm excited. Hopefully we'll get to this soon. We know probably won't get to it soon, but hopefully. So that was all of the bookish things we did on the first day. Then we went to this like taco place to get dinner because we were staying in town because we had tickets to the play that goes wrong at Bass Concert Hall, and let me tell you, that is the funniest play I have ever seen. I was laughing the entire time and like throwing my head back laughing. It was so funny. It was so good. It was a mixture of all kinds of different humors. The best play I have ever seen. The funniest play I have ever seen. I got to meet, okay, I don't know if her name is pronounced Groovy or Grovy, but I got to meet Angela. I saw her when I went and saw Newsies on tour, and I saw this again. I found that it was coming to town because of her, because of all her Instagram. So I got to meet her, which was fantastic. I highly recommend if it comes to your city, you go see it because it is so good. So good. Let's continue. So the next day, what is the next day? Sunday. So on Sunday, we got up there around 11 again because V.E. Schwab was speaking. So we watched her panel, and she was with another sci-fi person who, he was really funny. And then we opened up to questions and my sister was starving. So I was like, y'all can go ahead and leave. We're probably gonna leave pretty soon. But on the way out, could y'all check the signing tent and see like where in the tent she's signing so I can go get in line and like know where to go. And they're like, yeah, sure. And so she texts me like 2 minutes later, is like, we have a spot for you in line because there's a line already forming. I was like, oh. And so we leave a little bit early so we can relieve them of their spot so Joanna can go get food. And we are watching the tent as the session like completely ends, and people were running over to the signing tent to get in line for V.E. Schwab. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't be shocked because I was in that Lee Bardugo mob back at the Texas Teen Book Festival in what, 2016? So I know a thing or two about book mobs. But I guess I'd been out of it for a little bit, and listen, it was quite the thing to see. But anyway, I got 2 books, gotta get this one up, signed. Both of these. I had Vicious signed, which you know I read recently and loved. I ordered, I think I mentioned this before, but I ordered the really pretty editions. They didn't come in time. They literally came Monday. Very mad. But as I mentioned, I'm starting doing blackout poetry in this one, and I told her that and I showed her it and she thought it was really cute and she signed it. And then this one is an ARC that I got at the North Texas Teen Book Festival, and she also signed it. I haven't read it yet, but I do want to read it. It sounds, from what I understand, like not a very spooky book, but like a middle grade spooky book, which honestly is up my alley. What did we do after that? After that, we hadn't really looked around the festival at all the first day. So we went to, it's called the Old Bakery Emporium. It's like right there, usually right next to where they put the signing tent. And it was an old bakery, and now it's like an artisan shop as well as an art studio, which is super cool. So we looked around there for a bit. And then if you, oh my gosh. So Congress is where all of the tents are. You're facing the Capitol. If you loop around this way, don't ask me what the road is named because I don't know, but if you loop around that way, there's all these tents and you just like walk through, you're bombarded by people, there's vendors and all kinds of stuff. So we're walking through there, there's, you know, the A&M Aggie Press section, which I'm a big fan of. And there was this publisher called Bloomsbury. And I stopped and talked to them for a bit because I noticed it said publisher, you know, I'm trying to like, you know, work in publishing. So it's like, oof. I was chit-chatting with them a bit and they had a podcast. I was like, oh, I'll follow y'all on the podcast. And he's like, yeah, we just talked to a couple of people from here. We talked to a professor from A&M. I was like, oh, who? I'm like, you know, minoring in English. I might know them. She was like, oh, we're doing law. Why? I'm like, I'm trying to get into his class for next semester. Do you know where he went? Can I talk to him? Which I finished my class schedule and I can't fit in his class for next semester, which is very sad, but I was very stoked and was gonna like try and stalk that professor and be like, listen, give me your class. And we're walking and we're talking to people. I talked to another press, and one of the dudes there, he was technically an author that the press published, but I didn't really like him. He was a bit, insert word that I don't say on my channel because I try to keep my channel family friendly, that. He was a bit that. The tea. Okay, I'll shut up. And then around this point, my mom and sister had to leave because they both had meetings back home. So they left, we said goodbye. By the way, when I say we, I should have mentioned this earlier. When I say we, it was myself, my sister, my mother, and my cousin Margaret. What did my voice do right there? So Margaret and I had looked through all of the tents and we had a little bit of a gap of a time before Ransom Riggs was going to be speaking. So we went back to Lavazza and I did more accounting homework and she was working on her stuff. And then we wandered for a bit because we couldn't remember where the YA tent was, but we found it in time and went and listened to Ransom Riggs speak. Honestly, I was pretty tired at that point, so I don't really remember anything that was said, but it was good. Whatever was said, I was a bit of a eh at that time though, so I didn't enjoy it as much as the other 2 speakers I had gone to see. Honestly, the one I enjoyed the most was the pie demo because she was hilarious and she was making pie. But I digress. At one point, I really had to go to the bathroom, so I was like, Margaret, watch my bag. If I'm not back, you grab my bag, get in line. I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go to the bathroom, and I passed the, like, just again, I passed the line, and it was like already for. I'm like, I go to the bathroom real fast. I just hop in line. I'm like, Margaret, I'm in line. I got us a spot. This is gonna be a long one. And so when it ended, she came out and she just gave me the bags, and she was like, no, I have to go to the bathroom. And we got our books signed. I just got the first one signed. I own the second one as well. But I also had a book from my roommate and I got that one signed for her, but I couldn't fit the book I was currently reading in my bag if I also had the second book of this in my bag, so I chose to put the book I was currently reading in my bag and not the second book to sign, which honestly, in hindsight, was a bit of a stupid choice because I never actually read the book. Every break I had, I did homework, which is good of me, but I don't know. Oh, there's a line down my forehead. Should I fix it or should I leave it? Now it's bugging me that I never say one. So I just got this book signed. He signs on like the in-paper thing, which I found weird. But he signed my book. I told him I follow him and his wife on Instagram and that they're just like the cutest thing I've ever seen. And that was the book fest. Oh, shoot. So fun fact. I didn't have time to film this week. I'm obviously home this weekend. I'm actually here for a wedding. But I did buy some BookFest merch. I bought some little note cards and I bought a shirt from the BookFest last year that they had on sale since it was from last year. I get back to my apartment that night and my roommate's stupid cat puts a hole in it when I picked him up to kick him out of my room. His back claw nabbed it and now there's a hole in my brand new shirt. Front and center too. I'm so mad. And I bought an umbrella, but it doesn't open and close really fast. And when, you know, you're like trying to get off and on buses and into buildings quickly during school, you kind of need one that opens and closes fast. And even though mine is broken, I'm still using that one because it opens and closes fast. So I bought some stuff and I got some stuff, but I didn't bring that with me because I'm an idiot. That, my friends, is a wrap up of the Texas Book Festival 2018. It was a lot of fun. It was more fun than I was expecting it to be because at first, after I read V.E. Schwab's book, there was like that one author that I really wanted to see. But at first, there wasn't really an author that I was like, yes, I'm going to see this person. I just was going because we go every year and like there were a couple of authors that were like, yeah, let's go, it'll be fun. But I'm really glad I went. All worked out with the tests because I got a good score. And I got books signed. I've got some new recipes. I think that's everything. Cool beans. So that is it for this video. Comment down below and let me know if you were at the Texas Book Festival, what you did, who you saw. Did you see me? My backpack's kind of famous, I feel like. Here's the picture. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to mention. Bloomsbury. I'm walking away, right? My backpack looks like this, covered in pins. There is a picture of it. If you go to the North Texas Teen Book Festival and look up the pictures for 2018, there is a picture of it on there that I didn't know that they took. I didn't know that they took it, but there's a picture on there. People like my backpack. It's covered in pins. I like my backpack. And as I was walking away, they're like, wait, Hannah, you need a pin for your backpack. And they had these like giant square pins, and so they stuck it on my backpack. So I've taken it off that one. Not gonna lie, because I try to keep that one looking at least a little bit organized. I said organized, but I just have like certain areas that can have pins and certain areas that can't. But I have a second backpack, and it's on that one now, so it's still on a backpack. But that was really funny. And they took a picture with it, so I don't know what they're doing with that picture, but there's a picture of me with Bloomsbury people and a Bloomsbury pin on my pin-covered backpack. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Anyway, what was I saying? That's it. Did you go? Did you have fun? Who'd you see? Yeah. Honestly, I feel a bit like out of shape from filming. Like I feel like I'm very discombobulated in this video and just like a little bit everywhere and going off on tangents, and it stopped recording because I reached my 21-minute limit that my camera has. So I'm gonna go now. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I will see y'all again in another one soon.